News reached the elves before we did. The barrier is already gone by the time we arrive. On behalf of all the elves, thank you for what you did. However, we do not need the men you have sent to support us. We can protect ourselves. We do not mean to offend you or decline your help. Because you have secured the cooperation of the others, we could lower the barrier on our forest. Thanks to you, we can protect not only Ratiomail, but the forests and lakes around us. Your men are valuable. Please send them where they are needed most. Furthermore, the strong bonds you have forged have made the battle line stronger. We can withstand the invading monsters. That was what we truly desired. I understand. Then please protect Lake Shishitika. We'll protect as far as the Kalinri River. We know that area well. That'll be a big help. We're all in trouble right now, so let's do our best. This is nothing compared to what you have done. A young elf runs up to the chief and whispers in his ear. Understood. Let us do so. What is it? The barrier stopped the monsters at the eastern forest. He brought a report on the situation there. Huh? I don't understand what he means. But Sarawi turns pale.
東の森というのは、ひょっとして。
The eastern forest? Do you mean... Yes. Cervantes forest. Huh? What does that mean? The demons were stopped there and began to gather. That is the natural place for that to happen. Then there were a bunch of monsters gathering there this whole time? Yes. The longer they remain, the more the land is steeped in darkness. We must take action before that can happen. If we leave it as it is now, that land will be swallowed by the dark power. No. Then we have to do something right away. Yes, you are correct. The chief says it with a completely impassive look. He doesn't look shocked or moved by it at all. But from what he just said, it'll get really bad if we don't take care of this immediately. Maybe he's not in a hurry because he already gave the order to begin. Or maybe it's just how elves react. Except that Sarawi is completely pale and shaken. Sarawi, let's go on ahead. Huh? But... Go. See it for yourselves. Yes. We leave Ratiomail and travel through the forest to the east. The beautiful forest soon fades, and the shadows of the trees lengthen. The area where we found the fawn before is still safe, but beyond that is a sickening mist that's rotting the leaves. The ground is slick with the poison as it seeps in. The polluted ground sucks at our feet as we walk through it. How can this... There's so much miasma. This is horrible. And even the smell. It chokes you and makes it hard to breathe. And this is that forest? This happened just from those monsters being here? If they were to gather around Yuidora, would it turn out the same way?
なんでエルフはこんなになるまで放っておいたの？エルフって森を守るんじゃないの？
Why did the elves ignore them until it turned out like this? Aren't the elves supposed to protect the forest?
仕方ないこともある。多くを守るには少ない犠牲も必要だ。
There was nothing they could do. Some must be sacrificed to protect the many.
だからって大事な森じゃないの？
But isn't this forest important? The monsters must have gone elsewhere since the seal was released, but the fog shows no sign of dissipating.
これは遅かったのかもしれないな。
It may be too late.
言わないでください。
Please do not say that.
すまん。
Sorry. Yuella doesn't say another word. Sarui quietly looks over the forest. There's a howl in the distance. It's not an animal. It's some kind of brutal demon.
まだ集まってきてるみたいだね。
They're still gathering. The chief steps up to Sarui's side. Behind him, the elves are getting ready to do something. Servali, you know what must be done now. You have not yet experienced it, but you know the pain. However, this is needed to protect the forest.
何？どういうこと？
Huh? What? What do you mean? The chief signals, and the elves rush into the forest with axes and torches. The ones carrying torches silently move upwind, while the others begin cutting down the trees. What's going on? The grass and trees of this forest are already dead. Soon, everything will rot and become part of the land. If we let that happen, this forest will be steeped in dark power and entirely swallowed in it. Then it will be too late. We knew this would happen. We are prepared for it. We have been ready to do this ever since we sealed the forest. Servali, are you prepared? The elves knew this would happen from the very start. To protect the other forests, and the city of humans beyond it, they're sacrificing this one. The chief receives an axe from a nearby elf, and holds it out to Sarui. You are an elf. Do not forget that. Sarui gingerly takes it.
やります。
I will do it. She joins the others cutting down the trees. I will too.
私も手伝おう。
I will also help.
なんでよ、どうして？
Eh? Why? Why? Emulita, if you're going to help, please assist them with the fires.
フィルもセラウィもそれでいいの？何をしようとしてるのか分かってるんだよね。
You and Sarui are okay with this. Do you realize what you're doing? Of course we know. We're cutting down the trees in this forest, and then burning the rotted soil clean.
ええ、そうです。そうしなければ、ここ以外の森にもどんどん広がってしまいます。
Yes, that's right. If we do not, it will quickly spread to the other forests. The infected land here is dead to us, but it could become a nesting place for dark creatures to begin breeding. If we leave it alone, it'll soon affect all the other land around it. We have to burn it before that can happen. We can't let it infect the other forests.
迷っている時間はないんです。どんどん魔物が近づいてきますから。
There is no time to hesitate. More monsters are quickly approaching.
森を焼くなんて、そんなのエルフのすることじゃないよ。
But burning the forest? Elves shouldn't do that. This is also part of being an elf. Sometimes it must be done to protect the forest. I think about exactly what he's saying as I see the forest begin to be engulfed in flames. It can't be that the forest just has to be destroyed. The elves are sure to have thought much more deeply than that. The chief has to have a reason for burning this forest. I have to have faith in their decision. They know the forests better than anybody. Emilita, you can wait over there. We're not going to force you to do something you don't want to. Emilita glowers.
やるよ。わかってる。ちゃんと手伝うよ。
I'll do it. I understand. I'll help like I should.
でも、みんな簡単に納得しすぎだよ。セラウィだって、本当は絶対反対したいくせに何も言わないんだもん。
But you're all accepting this too easily. I know you're really against this, Sarawi, but you're not saying anything.
ごめん。そんなの私が言わなくても分かってるよね。
Sorry. I know I shouldn't say anything.
そう思うなら、お前も手伝ってやれ。それが気遣うということだ。
If you think so, that means you want to help too. You're worried as well. Yeah. We knock down the trees, cover them in grass, and then set fire to all of it. The forest burns, leaving a thick tang in the air. Sarawi watches it with tears in her eyes. I don't know what I can possibly say to her. I have no idea how long we spend watching her forest disappear.
たくさん思い出の詰まった大好きな森でした。自分の無力が悔しくて仕方ありません。
I loved that forest. It was full of memories for me. I hate how powerless I am, and how little I can do. Yeah. This will prevent the monsters from invading. You understand what that means?
多くの人を助けられるということでしょうか。
We have saved many people. There is also that, but I meant more precisely. We can now protect the lands around here. We can finally seek the cause of this. Ah.
そうか。そうですよね。こんな風に泣いていてはいけませんね。
Yes, you're right. I shouldn't be crying like this. Instead of saying anything, I stroke her back to comfort her.
ありがとう。もう大丈夫です。
Thank you. I am fine now. Yeah. My chest doesn't feel as tight seeing Sarawi smile again. At the same time, I'm glad I placed my trust in the elves. They were more cautious than anybody, and were trying to protect us. Wilfred, Lord of Uedora. Yes? We realize that we cannot investigate the cause ourselves. Your assistance is requested. Of course, we're happy to help. Servalwi, you still have your duty to fulfill.
はい。 分かっています。
Yes, I understand. Well said. Lord Wilfred, it will take time for us to protect and heal these lands. Can we leave this to you? Your promptness has been admirable thus far, and it is essential that the Digino region be investigated. Is there something you know? Countless monsters have gathered in one area in Digino. We do not yet know why, but they seem to be gathering around something. Do you have any ideas at all? We do not know.
それって変じゃないですか？だって魔物を引きつけるぐらい強大な力があるなら察知できるはずですよね。
And that seems weird, doesn't it? I mean, shouldn't you be able to sense if there was a strong monster drawing them all there? Yes, that is why we are unsure what could be making the monsters gather. Something that naturally draws monsters to it, and it's summoning a lot of them. Whatever it may be, who knows what may happen if a legion of monsters comes together. It may be too much to stop. And that's why we need to act quickly. Correct. We will be hurrying, so please do everything you can, Lord Wilfred. We will help in any way possible. Thank you very much. I'll do whatever I can too. We'll tell you as soon as we discover anything. Until then, we both have our own jobs to do. The chief bows and leaves. It seemed like his attitude changed a little bit.
私にはあんな言葉をかけてくださったことはありませんよ。
Please do not say things like that for my sake. Really? Maybe you're just used to him being so strict all the time.
なんかお母さんみたい。セラビーに同情しちゃうな。
Kinda like a mom. He feels sorry for her. Huh?
なんでもない。
It's nothing.
あまり時間はないぞ。行くなら行こう。
We do not have much time. Let's get going.
ええ、こうしてはいられませんね。原因を究明しに行かねばなりません。
Yes, we cannot stay here. We must go find the cause of this. Let's go back to Uedora and find out what's been going on everywhere. We leave the Elven Forest. At that time in Uedora, alchemists on their way back from the Uedora mine suddenly stop in the middle of the plaza. What's that? They stare across the plaza. There's something slowly drifting toward them, almost like a black cloud. Is that smoke? No. He scowls as the black haze descends upon the plaza. Hey, isn't this stuff dangerous? In moments, panic takes over, and everybody flees the streets. Ah! We're shocked when we get back to Uedora. The air in the city is completely different.
何これ。一体どうしちゃったの？
What? What's going on?
これは一体。
Just what is this?
この黒い霧、それに気配、この地方のものではありません。
This black mist, and the way it feels. It's not from here. Not from here? What do you mean?
エルフの森のもっと北東、ディジャネール地方の空気に似ています。
It's like the air northeast of the Elven Forest. Like the air of Diginal.
どうしてユイドラにディジェネール地方の正気なんかが？
What is the miasma of Diginal doing in Uedora? Anyway, let's head in. We still see some people in the plaza. Most have shut themselves up in their homes, but there are a few still trying to go about their business. However, they don't look well, and there are clearly fewer than usual. An alchemist runs up to us. "You're late. What were you doing?" "We just got back now. We had no idea anything happened. Just what's going on here?" "We don't know. This stuff just suddenly started spewing out of the mine. It seems okay to breathe for now, but it's still creepy, and isn't doing anybody any good." "Got it. I'll start working on it immediately." We leave the plaza and go into the manor. Everybody gathers to discuss what to do about the black miasma engulfing Uedora. It's not strong enough to do any harm right now, but it is changing the air to something that would make monsters thrive. If we don't do something about it, monsters are going to start flocking here soon. In short, all the monsters that have been invading the lands around us will turn on Uedora. If that happens, it'll be impossible to stop them. Uedora will be overrun. We have to get rid of this miasma before then. Is it having any other effects? The number of sick people suddenly increased when the miasma appeared. It has to be related. Another reason we need to act quickly. Do we know where it's coming from? Deep inside the Uedora mine. Could it be there? It's got to be the seal that Rosanna showed us before. Has the seal broken? Or is it starting to come apart?
こうしちゃいられないよ。すぐに地下迷宮の封印を何とかしないと。
We can't leave things like this. We've got to seal the dungeon immediately. I know that. But if the seal is breaking down, we need to know how to remake it. We don't know how, and we don't have the time to find out.
私も協力しましょう。
I will help you. Rosanna interrupts my thoughts. Huh? Lady Rosanna, is it okay for you to be up?
この後に及んで病人扱いはしてほしくありません。
At this point, I have no desire to be treated like an invalid.
封印について研究したことをエミリッタとセラバルウィーに教えます。二人が協力すれば一時的な封印ぐらいはできるでしょう。
I will teach Emilita and Servalwi what I know. If the two of them work together, they can make a temporary seal.
いいんですか？
Eh? Will that be okay?
その代わり時間がありません。しっかり覚えてください。
There is no time to debate this. Please memorize what I teach you. Yes.
ええ、わかりました。
Yes, I understand.
ウィルフレード様、準備ができたら鉱脈の方へ。
Lord Wilfred, go to the mine as soon as you are ready. Understood. Thanks to Rosanna, Emilita and Sarabi will be able to do something about the seal. We have to go to the mine as soon as possible to stop this from getting any worse. Endangered seal. Well, nothing here. Nothing here. Not unexpected. Seal, seal, seal.
やはり封印が破れかけていますね。ものすごい数の魔物が封印を破ろうと押しかけています。
The seal really is beginning to tear. The monsters are rushing in to try and break it. Like you said, this miasma is the same as the air in De Janeiro.
ええ、どうやらこことディジャネイル地方をつなげる穴になっているようです。
Yes, it looks like there's a tunnel here connected to De Janeiro. If they break the seal, then...
小さな穴から堤防が崩れるように一気に穴が広がり、やがてミケルティ全体が闇に飲まれるでしょう。
A dam collapses from small holes. The holes will spread, and all of Mikelti will be swallowed by it. What would happen to Mikelti then? Even if we fix the seal now, how much damage has there already been? We have to stop it here. Sarawi, Emilita, you know how to repair the seal.
大丈夫だから今は話しかけないで。ロサナ様がもう許して。
It'll be okay. Don't talk to me right now. Rosanna. Forgive me. Did something happen, Sarawi?
エミリッタは頭がいいので教えがいがあります。しっかり叩き込みましたから大丈夫ですよ。
Emilita is smart and learns well. It'll be okay. It was completely drummed into her.
私たちの準備ができるまで時間がかかります。なんとか時間を稼いでください。
We will need time to prepare. Please keep us safe.
さあエミリッタ、行きますよ。
Come, Emilita. Let's go.
ラジャですよ。
Roger. I see. It sounds like they're okay. Alright, let's go. It's even worse than I thought. The entire area is packed with monsters. And it's clear that they're all moving toward the seal. We need to recover the situation here so that Emilita and Sarawi can rebuild the seal. There are 2 spots they'll need to be. Once Sarawi and Emilita are here, they can get started. Emilita has to go to the left, and Sarawi has to go to the right. They'll need time to finish. We can't let the enemy near them while they're working. We're also going to need to eliminate all the monsters here so that they can't attack the seal. This'll be hard, but we have to do it. 5 turns, huh? Okay. All enemies and portals must be defeated. Jesus. And do this. You some blue. Fine. Take your fear. That's okay. So here's something deal with this. Really old pretty hard cleaning on there. Okay. Now, don't think you do. Oh, you're a when you get down. Then I'm back. And how's it called? Yeah, gives us to be now. The garden. Well, you'll use some side. You go. Yeah, right. Go over that. And then you go. And the seat. The ending file. Glasses. Backgrounds. You'll do it. There's this. Oh, it's this. That's what you get here. There you. And wrap it up. And there you. After these, you can build portals. At least you can find your right house. Boy, I bet who's. Dig out over here. And then ship right. So you can roll here. And do. Yeah. More to 3 dimension. and informational detail.
準備できました。いつでも行けます。
I've finished my preparations. I can begin any time.
準備はできたよ。いつでも OK。
Already here. I'm okay whenever. Got it. You two start working. Alright. We've taken care of everything here, and they've finished getting ready. Okay. Let's start rebuilding the seal.
行くよ、セラビー。
Let's go, Sarawi.
いつでも。
Anytime. The two of them pour their magic together.
エミリッタ、少し弱くなってます。
Emilita, a little weaker.
分かってる。これでもくらえ。
Got it. Take this. Their mixing magic begins to shine brilliantly.
来た来た。ビリビリ来たよ。セラビー、やって。
Here it comes. It's all tingly. Do it, Sarawi.
行きます。他の人は避けてください。
Here I go. Everyone else stay out of the way.
光と闇の中心たる力よ。大いなる契約をもって、すべての精霊と力を閉ざしたまえ。
Our resolute powers of light and dark, by the covenant of mana, seal this force.
魔力全開と
Magic full power. Toe! Okay, it worked.
やったー。見た見た。私だってやればできる子なんだよ。
Oh, we did it. Did you see that? I knew I could do it when the time came.
よくやりましたね。
You did very well.
ただ根本的解決にはなりません。闇の圧力を弱めなければいつかは破れてしまいます。
But this does not truly solve the problem. If we do not weaken the dark pressure on the seal, it will tear eventually. Then we've got to figure out the cause behind all this before that.
でも一つ分かったことがあるよね。この花がリゼネール地方につながっていること。
But we do know one thing. This tunnel's connected to Dejanel.
封印自体は相当古いようですし、ユイドラの形成より以前かもしれません。
The seal looks very old, perhaps even older than Uedora. Then humans just happened to build Uedora over the seal?
いえ、たまたまではないのでしょうね。このような力の集まる場所だったからこそ、希少な鉱脈もできたのだと思います。
No, it couldn't be by chance. This is where forces gather. I believe there is also a rare ore found here. Then Uedora being built here was inevitable.
物事というものは、そうやって積み重なっていくものですから。
Everything would simply continue building around it. So, where in Dejanel does this go?
私の理解が間違っていないのであれば、魔物が集まっていたところがそうではないのか？
If my understanding is not mistaken, wouldn't it be where the monsters are gathering? Yeah, it's got to be there.
おそらく魔物たちは抜け穴を見つけてそこに殺到していたのでしょう。
Maybe the monsters found the other side of this tunnel, and that's why they're flocking there.
そこってものすごい数の魔物が集まってるんだよね。
Aren't there a lot of monsters there?
おそらく私たちがかつて見たこともないような数の魔物が集まっているでしょうね。
It may be more monsters than we've ever seen before.
怖いのか？
Are you afraid?
何言ってんの。ロサナ様の引きつった笑顔を体験したら怖いものなんて何もなくなるんだから。
No way. After seeing Rosanna's creepy smile, I'm not scared of anything anymore.
ならいいではないか。
And then it's fine.
なんかユエラワクワクしてないよね。
Aren't there a lot of monsters there?
おそらく私たちがかつて見たこともないような数の魔物が集まってるんだよね。
Maybe You seem kinda excited, Yuella.
ワクワクなどしていない。ただ体がうずくだけだ。
I am not excited. My body simply aches. Unless we do something about the monsters gathering, they might tear open the seal again. We have to take care of it while the seal is still holding. We all nod to each other. But we still don't know exactly where in Dijanel. We'll have to talk to the elves again. Well, I guess we're going here first. When we get back, I receive word that there's a guest waiting for me at the manor. When he walks in, I immediately stand at attention. Excuse me. Wilfred, Lord of Uedora. I have come as a messenger from Raciamail. You didn't need to come all the way here. Wouldn't the forest be better? I had to tell you about the gathering monsters as soon as possible. You learned something. I urge him to continue. His eyes narrow darkly. The monsters are gathering at Morigawa Palace, floating high in the air. A sky palace? Those things really exist? It is a deserted palace that has been in the skies above Dijanel for ages. What are monsters doing there? The balance must have collapsed because of what happened 7 years ago. Its power drew them, and their power drew more. And then the monsters who gathered began to transform. That is what I wish to tell you now. Transform? How so? I did not feel any strong, focused power before, but I do now. You mean that something has appeared? It is newly born. The horde of monsters feeds on each other, overlaps, melts into one another, and becomes a single force. A terrifying core has begun to appear. If the core is complete, it will soon create a new King of Darkness. We have no way to stand against that. 7 years ago, I heard that something similar happened north of Dijanel. However, they defeated it with the help of all the neighboring countries. The dark powers in Dijanel became active because of that event, and have caused this. It must be stopped here. We will do that, of course. Is there some way to get there? The palace is floating high in the sky. Only those with wings can reach it. In that case, please let us handle it. We'll ask the dragons for their help. The chief faintly chuckles hearing me speak so confidently. We have no way ourselves. We must leave it to you. We will help you however we can. We'll handle that, so please defend Raciamail and the land around it. Can we request your assistance in Calenry as well? Let us all do our best. We nod to each other in mutual confirmation. The Undines and Gnomes living in Uedora's Purifier. How are they? They seem to like it. Do you want to see them? No, this is not the time for that. Please come whenever you want. We'll always welcome you. Yes, I shall. The chief bows and then quietly leaves. Morigawa Palace. Geptal should be able to take us there. I'll ask him about it. I asked Geptal about what the elven chief told me. Geptal, do you know somewhere called Morigawa Palace? those who do not soar about the skies would not know of it. In other words, he does. Something's happening in Dijanel. I've been told that that's the source of the disasters facing Uedora. I want to go there. What will you do? I will stop this disaster at the source, and save not only the people of Uedora, but of Mikelti and Disnefrodi. Gaptal silently thinks for a moment, then nods. The palace you speak of lies extremely high in the air. It was silent for ages, but for some reason has descended. Do not think you can simply step into it. It is defended by numerous powers.
様々な力というのはどういうものなのでしょうか?
Numerous powers? What do you mean by that? I mean all of the forces. Each one supports and protects that palace. They're getting stronger every day. This may be our only chance to stop it. I feel that as well. I know what will happen if it is ignored. He doesn't say anything beyond that, but it's easy to imagine from the rumble in his voice. Can you take us there? If I do, there is no guarantee you can return. Thank you. I'll be counting on you when the time comes. We have a way of getting to Morigawa Palace now. All that's left is to go. Morigawa Palace. This will be our final battle. After I talk to Sarawi again, we'll go there and bring this to an end. And where is Sarawi? Ah, she's at the manor.